Hey guys, Marianne here with Shopping Crafty. Today's moving to LA video is about acting submission websites. So these are the websites that you can go to whether or not you have an agent and see what projects are casting near you that need your type, and you can submit and try to get an audition. This is something you should be doing every day. It's a habit you have to make. I always am like doing really well, I start getting auditions, and then I fall off the wagon and I don't submit, and I'm just giving up opportunities by not doing that. So yes, you need to sign up for at least one submission website. There are 4 that I know of. I'm sure there are more, but these are the 4 that I know other people have used and are fairly legitimate. So the 4 I'm going to talk about are Cast, that's C-A-Z-T, Backstage, LA Casting, and my favorite, Actors Access. So if you're just moving to LA and you have never used a submission website before, I recommend starting with Actors Access because they have a lot of non-paid theatrical work. So theatrical, that doesn't mean like in the theater, that means it's like a movie or a TV show or a web series rather than a commercial. So that content, I mean, that's what you want when you're starting out, to build up your resume, to get experience as an actor. And they do have union and non-union productions, and they have paid and non-paid productions on their website. And you can filter out if you don't want something paid or if you don't want something non-paid. You can submit to union stuff. It's rare that you'll get an audition for something union, but you never know if you're non-union. So you may or may not want to filter out union stuff if you're just starting out. But yeah, Actors Access lets you also filter out by type, so your age range, your gender, color of hair, stuff like that. It lets you organize so you just see those. And then the listings are broken down by project. So you can click on one project and see which character descriptions match you. They'll be highlighted in yellow inside the entire project category. So it will also list some that you don't match within the project itself, because it just lets you know all the things they're casting for that project, which I really like because it also lets you sort of know what the style is of the project, what other characters you would be bouncing off of. It just gives you more of a background on what this project is and is going for, rather than just seeing a solitary character description out of context. And it gives you the information of the director, the production company, the casting director, the audition dates, all that sort of stuff. It's really great. Plus, Actors Access is awesome because it is only, I believe, $68 a year, which for an acting submission website, especially such a legitimate, great one, that's so cheap. It's so amazing. Plus, you get, with that $68, a subscription to showfax.com, which is an acting sides website. So sometimes you'll get an audition and they'll say, okay, here's the code for Showfax, and you can go to Showfax, type in the code, and you'll get your audition sides, which is like the script that you're going to be working off of. The awesome thing about Showfax is it's searchable. So you can find, like, say there's a TV show you aspire to work on that all the characters are your type, and you think someday if you could get an audition for it, you'd be a shoo-in, you know? You can look those sides up and see what week to week their audition sides look like, and you can prepare them and just sort of get the experience so that you're ready if and when that date comes when you get an audition for them. And I think that's just cool. A lot of times the sides will be like a similar situation but slightly different than what's actually going to happen on the TV show. Like, I had an audition for a Disney Channel show once, and the audition itself was about how my best friend was getting married, and it was like a flash forward to the future. and they were telling me they were getting married, and it was emotional, and I was really excited. It turned out that when the show actually aired, that's not the conversation those two characters were having. Instead, my best friend, I think, had gotten accepted to college or something like that, or had gotten a great job promotion or something along those lines. So they don't want to release spoilers to everybody, but they'll usually, you know, capture the vibe of the scene, and that's what your sides will be. So Showfax is a great resource to have, plus you get the submission website. So Actors Access is amazing. Plus it's breakdown services, which is one of the biggest submission websites there is. You can't see all of the auditions for big time projects. So you'll rarely see like an ABC show or something casting on there, because there's a separate little secret breakdown services for agents and casting directors. And then there's the actor interface. But it's fantastic, and it's a great place to start. And also, if you're in the Midwest, like anywhere near Chicago, they also have a Midwest section, so you should definitely sign up for that now and start submitting to stuff in the Midwest while you're getting ready to move to LA. That's what I did. I got a couple auditions through Actors Access. I think I got a part through them too in Chicago. I lived in Wisconsin, but it was within driving distance of Chicago, so I was able to do that. And they have a New York section as well. So I love Actors Access. And when you upload extra photos or if you upload like demo reel stuff, it's a one-time fee. And it's always painful to pay that one-time fee. I think it's like $22 per minute for a video. But I know that LA Casting just does an increase annually, monthly, for having a video up. So you're never going to finish paying for that video. It's just a more expensive service for the rest of your life if you have a demo reel up. So having the one-time fee is actually really great. So if you are only going to get one, just get Actors Access. Another one that I haven't tried that I think would probably be good for people starting out is Cast. That's the CAZT. They are actually, I'm pretty sure, just a building that rents out their space for auditions, but they also have a submission website for people that are casting there. So I've had auditions there, but I've never used the service. So I don't know if it's worth it to buy the service if most of the auditions being held there are also on Actors Access and LA Casting. You know what I mean? So I've never used it, but I know that they do have this really cool thing where they record, when they record the audition in the room, they post it to the website so you can watch your audition after the fact, which could be a great learning opportunity. But yeah, I know other people that have used it and like it. It's just, it doesn't seem like it's for me, just because I feel like I can find a lot of those auditions on the other platforms anyway. And the same thing holds true for LA Casting. If you can only afford one, just go with Actors Access, because a lot of the theatrical things that you see on Actors Access are on LA Casting and vice versa. The only thing that LA Casting has, which is important, that Actors Access doesn't have as much of, is commercial work. So if you have any special skills, like fencing, juggling, being awesome at yoga, being awesome at hiking and running and all of that stuff, you might be able to find something on LA Casting that you couldn't find on Actors Access. And commercial stuff pays better, but it's also usually union, and you have to have experience usually to get a commercial. So, and commercial experience really, so you have to take commercial classes, but that's a whole different thing. But LA Casting is also much more expensive. It is, well, when you first sign up, it's $174.50 for 1 year, because there's a $25 setup fee, which I find ridiculous. Like, isn't the fee the setup fee? But no, they just want an extra $25 for no real reason other than they can. So, okay, sure. Sorry, LA Casting, you're great. I just, $25. And they also, yeah, have the price will go up if you have a demo reel on there per year. So This is an annual fee paid all at once, or you can do monthly, or you can do 6 months. That's usually the case with most of them, except Actors Access, because it's so cheap for the whole year that they don't offer like by month, because why would you? It's unnecessary. So LA Casting, again, they have commercial stuff, and they list the projects. You can filter out the same non-union, union, paid, unpaid, and by your type. But they list each and every individual character that you match. So say there's one film being made, and they need 10 girls that are your type. It will list it as 10 separate things you can submit to, which I don't really like, because it can just... because sometimes they also like repost them every day, so you just have to scroll through the same exact things every day to try to find a new posting, which I don't really like, but that's just a personal preference, and it's nothing they're doing wrong necessarily. It's just, I like how Actors Access is organized. But I've also gotten work through them. I randomly I had submitted myself for this commercial, and they called me like the day before filming, and we're like, oh hey, can you just come and film tomorrow and we'll pay you $400? I was like, yeah. So I went, I was there for maybe 2 hours. They had me standing at this taco cart, grab a taco and take a bite. And I did that like 10 times, and then I was done, and I had made $400 by taking the first bite of a taco 10 times. It was awesome. And that can happen. So definitely not hating LA Casting, because that was not on Actors Access. Because Actors Access, it does have some commercials, just not very many. So, but if you only need one, Actors Access. If you can afford to, definitely LA Casting is my second choice. The other one that I've tried is Backstage. I still think Backstage is just more for people in New York. I think it's more dominant over there. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I've gotten an audition through them. There just doesn't seem to be very many posts that often, at least that fit my type. And they're expensive. I mean, I guess LA Casting is more expensive. It was $139.92 for a year, or $11.66 per month for Backstage. I like them. I like that they have the magazine. That's really fun, but I'm terrible at keeping up with it, so I have a huge stack of like Backstage magazines that I haven't read. I throw them away when I read them, or like tear out anything that I think is really valuable information. But I think that was extra money to get the subscription. I don't know, but they're fine. It's really all just personal preference, and just from my experience, Backstage and Cast and all of that, they're just supplemental, you know. It's extra. If you want that extra edge, yeah, go for it. But if you want the most opportunities for the least amount of money, Actors Access, LA Casting. So that's just my humble opinion. If anyone disagrees, please let me know down below. Let other people know your opinions, because maybe you've had better experiences with the other places than me, or different experiences. It's not like I've had bad experiences by any means. But just for the money, that's my advice. And I definitely recommend trying out Actors Access if you can before you move here. And if you can't, just try looking at Craigslist in your area, or looking at campus websites for auditions, just to get used to searching for it and to try to build up your experience before you get out here. Like before I moved, I had been a small part in a feature film, a lead in a short film, and I had been working behind the scenes on a Hulu production that was just filmed in Wisconsin, and I found it through Craigslist. You have to be careful with Craigslist, but you know, when you're in smaller areas, or in areas that just aren't known for their film work, you gotta just try to find it wherever you can on set. Like, campuses are a great place to start. So yeah, just try that out and figure out. You can try all of these for yourself, make your own opinion, but if you want my advice, well, there it is. Thank you so much, guys. Talk to you again soon.